Good morning, it's your girl. TGIF, it's Friday. Let's get it now, Friday. It's Friday, and you already know what it is. We're going to head back to the news and get into it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. It's going to be wild. The streets are talking. The streets is always talking. Between Trumpy and his administration, you already know they at the top of the charts, right? You know they at the top of the charts. So let's just get right into it. The first business at hand is the CDC. Oh my goodness. Now there's a little bit of confusion because the director of the CDC, who is Susan Monterez, said she quit. She gave her resignation. And she said because she refused to just give a rubber stamp to all this is her, and I quote what she said, unscientific, reckless directives. It was just too much, basically, bullshit. She also said she was tired of RFK trying to weaponize public health. Come on. Now, of course, the lying-ass administration is going to say, we fired her because she wasn't good. She wasn't doing her job. She was terrible. Nah, that ain't it. So look, the people who backed her up was all the rest of the people. Now they had a walkout yesterday because they're tired of the same thing. They said that they're exhausted with Trump and RFK Jr. because they don't want to go off of scientific facts. They want to go off of what sounds good and makes them look good. Man. That's just ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that other administrations didn't do certain things, but not to this extent, where it's like blatantly lying. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no little white lie, as they like to say. This right here is a deep down, dirty dozen lie, straight up. So they just tired of him. And honestly, how can we trust this guy, RFK? He looked like he smoked, or sound like he smoked 20 packs of cigarettes a day until like yesterday or something. He looks like shit, just like the president. They look terrible. They both look sickly. But nah, they want to tell the CDC how to do their damn job. Come on. It's so many lies, like you can't even find the truth. But the thing that they're missing the most is that so many people now, whenever they say something, there's always a fact check. They keep telling, nope, that's not accurate. Nah, that didn't happen. It's a lot of that going on. No, that didn't happen. It just gets more nuttier every single day. And my thing is, make it make sense, baby. Come on. I'm exhausted, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I be so tired of talking about him, but every day he does something wild. Now, we all know about him taking over DC. I made it so great. Everything is fantastical because I made it great. You made what great, sir? They had already had their crime rate down by 28%. And now you think you did anything? Just imagine this, people. The people of DC just chilling. You on your porch. You with your people. Y'all just talking. You live there. And they're questioning you, talking about what you doing. Minding our own damn business like you should. You got the FBI who's getting paid way too much money to be on these streets like this. Then he calls the National Guard in to help. And it's crazy. It's so bad that other people that were in the military had to tell him, hey, remember your oath. And remember your oath. Because you know what? None of these people even know if the people they're harassing are their cousins, sisters, daughters. You know what I'm saying? Their uncles, their aunts. What if your mother's live somewhere else and now they're harassing her because now they're on the streets? They don't know her son or her daughter is in the military. And honestly, the people I feel the worst for is probably the National Guard. Imagine that. These people actually work with these people. National Guards, you part-time, goddammit. You're a part-time military person. And now you got to be on the streets with these people trying to police them when you have no knowledge to police. The National Guard is called in when you need, there's a catastrophe that happened, flooding, this, to help and aid people. Nah, they harassing people at their own homes. Soon as people get out their cars, it's so bad right now. Even restaurateurs are not even going out to eat. And so the restaurant owners are like, hey, you are basically fucking up our business. Period. Let's just say what it is. One guy, he's had like a restaurant, a French restaurant for, I think he said about 20 years, a little over 20 years. And he said, a lot of people are not coming out because they don't want to be harassed. And it's messing up business for a lot of businesses. He's thinking he's making it great, but not. He's not making it great at all. He's making it worse. He really is. It's like not 1 ounce of intelligence in his cabinet that could say, hey, I don't think we should do that, But I hate to bring it up, people. If you ever read Project 25, this is all in there. Because peep this, real talk, that guy who started it, of course he had people add in their little 2 cents. But the main gentleman that put that together, right? He studied black people. He studied us for a very long time, years. So they think they got us down packed how we move and how we do things. But what they noticed in their studies is that we know when we're being followed. At least the older ones do. The young people don't fucking pay attention to who following them. Unless they really from the street, if you know what I'm saying. We know these things. So we change our routines. Even me. When I come home, I never go the same route. I always go a different route. It's not because I'm afraid. It's called instinct. I just know. You know what I mean? And so while they're so busy trying to study us, this is the reason why they took over DC. You know why? Because that is where the most, I would say, professionals live. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. There's a lot out here, a lot of money. But the Mecca, Chocolate City, was always DC. Yeah, I believe Atlanta is the Mecca, and they'll try that next, sooner or later, right? But now they're trying to say DC was that bad when it really wasn't. But that's what they're really after, those people. It's bad enough they already put over 300,000 black women out of jobs. That just means there's a lot of shit that ain't gonna be done right. It's just a fact. So keep trying to study us, keep trying to learn us, but you're never gonna really know us, because we know you better than you know yourselves. I'm just saying. Now, he started to talk junk, I'm gonna say, to Chicago. Now, we all know Chicago got a bad rap because they say, black on black crime, which is something that white people invented. Because real talk, it should never be called black on black crime, but it makes it sound worse, right? But you notice they never say white on white crime, which is larger than any other ethnic crime. And that's just facts. Go look it up. It's facts, right? So these crimes that they're talking about, where both people are of the same ethnicity, it's called crime of proximity. Because you live in my neighborhood, we probably gonna be beefing. We probably gonna have a problem from time to time. That's all that is, okay? Because we don't want to get into the thing. I just did a thing on school shootings. You already know what it is. I'm saying, okay? So we know what it really is. We know who the real serial killers are and all of that. We know. But you want to go to Chicago? That's crazy. Now, all the time we've been hearing about all the terrible crimes, black on black crimes in Chicago, they also found out during the riots, the protests, the BLM protests, they found out that white officers were wearing masks that had black face, a rubber black face. Now, there's a lot of shit black people will do, but we ain't going out and buying no damn $600 mask. I'm just saying, we're not going to do it. But they did it because now when you see the crime, you just see a black face and you just figure it's a black person, not knowing it was really a rubber mask. Yeah, that's the kind of bullshit they're doing. I'm not saying that Chicago doesn't have black on black crime. It does. It also has white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime, Latino on Latino crime. It's called crime of proximity, period. But they won't mention those things, because they want to have us look like the bad people. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother thing. I got something else for you on that one, right? So Chicago said, I'm sorry, we don't need your help. They declined help from the administration, because what the administration did is try to be sneaky. So what they did is they hit up all the military bases that are in close proximity to Chicago. So they found one that was like 35 miles away, but they was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We have a very limited, resources. We have very limited resources, so we're unable to help you in that area. You know what I mean? So no. But then, the mayor and the governor steps in. So the mayor's name is, I got to look it up. The mayor, his name is Brandon Jackson. And the Louisiana governor, J.B. Pritzker. I'm going to say his name is Pritzker. Okay? They have pushed back against possible mobilization, stating that the crime is down and the city doesn't want or need the military's help. They're also planning on suing the administration for even trying to start anything. Now they got their officials saying, law enforcement saying, hey, don't start none, won't be none. Don't get our people in a tizzy, because now you got to understand there's some young guys on the streets that don't give a damn about a uniform if you're coming for them or their community, because now they're protecting family is what I'm saying, right? So now they call them YNs, and if you know. But me, I say they're young warriors, because they will take no shit. As soon as they hit them streets, I can tell you right now, there'll be a lot of military t-shirts with somebody's face on it, and it won't be theirs, is what I'm saying. So they know, back up, back down, back up, everything back up. It's just crazy. But what I love that Chicago is doing, right? All their law enforcement people and people of agencies that help community are handing out these little cards, and it's Know Your Right cards. So they're going to all the immigrant areas and giving them these cards and letting them know their rights so they're not violated, and what to do if their rights are violated. I think that's fire. I think every city or state in America should do that. There's a lot that are not going to do it because they're MAGA, but you figure this, he's not attacking the Republican states, only all the Democratic states. So be prepared. You don't know what's going to happen. Another thing that they're doing is also warning the homeless and trying to help them, get to where they need to be and put them in certain situations. So it's kind of good that they're out on the streets and trying to do better, because nobody really wants to see somebody just dragged out. There's a lot of people that ICE has come to get, and they had heart attacks. They died right there. Nobody got in trouble. They actually killed people. It's a lot of them. They done broke people's arms. You know what I'm saying? Their limbs, all of that to get an arrest to do what? Bring them to that damn concentration camp that's outside, basically, with the alligators. Alligator Island. Alligator Alcatraz. It's just ridiculous. The mere fact that we even have that is stupid and so un-American, I would say now, because things have changed, man, and we need to change with the times. But when you have a tyrant in office, you can forget it. So every blue state in America, Chicago got something good going on. Hand out these cards, Know Your Right cards, so that the immigrants know what to look for if they're in trouble, where they can go, where the resources are, those type of things, because everybody's just trying to eat, man. We all just trying to live. Now, I understand certain things. If someone has committed multiple crimes, this, that, and the other, but most of the immigrants really haven't. Well, not these immigrants. The ones that have committed crimes, they're letting them go scot-free. And those are the white immigrants, the European immigrants. There's a lot of them that have done some heinous shit. Just like, he called himself bringing white South Africans here. So they bring one couple here, and the guy actually ends up killing his wife. He unalived her in America. And guess what? He's not in jail. He didn't get deported. But you want to deport hardworking people? And now you feel some type of way because now the people who voted for you and that own farms and stuff, they're like, hey, you're taking all our workers. But those idiots actually voted for him. So to hell with them. I hope they all lose everything that they tried to have because they didn't want to think about anybody else but themselves. Knowing they lazy ass ain't getting out there working on that farm, those farms is dying. But I can tell you what farms are thriving. It's the black ones. Because they actually do the work. I'm just saying. They ain't sitting on their porch, sipping on lemonade. It's just so much mess, man. I swear. But the judges are tired. Everybody's starting to be exhausted with this administration. Even some of the MAGAs are like, yeah, all right, y'all doing too much. You know what I mean? Hey, I thought it was cool when they were just deporting these people, this, that, and the other. Now they don't think it's cool at all because who gonna work the farms? We ain't. And people wonder why they don't see black people doing all the things. They say there's a lot of jobs openings. Yeah, we don't want to do them because our ancestors did them for free. We're not doing that anymore. That's over. It's just over. Courts. Speaking of the courts, Cardi B is in court. Oh, gosh. I watched a few of the videos, almost all of them, right? As a comedian, I was so impressed with Cardi because her timing is perfect. I mean, she really could be a comedian. If she wanted to be, she could do it. I promise you she could. She's on that, she's just on the stand there asking her questions. She's being honest. Some of the things she looking like, what? So let me tell you the backstory. So in 2018, Cardi was, I think she was in town in Los Angeles because she was at some sort of a festival. Not a festival, but the All-Star game. She was there for the All-Star game with her husband. And so she felt like she needed to, check on her situation because she was like 3 months pregnant. So she got a private appointment and everything. So she went there and the office shut down at a certain time so she could have her privacy and nobody would be in there but the staff and her. So she's walking through this building for her an appointment, right? So a security guard notices Cardi was in the building. Now, that security guard followed her all the way to her appointment. And she was just like, Cardi was like, why the fuck you following me? Aren't you supposed to be your job? Aren't you supposed to be doing security? So then the girl said, and she said, why you filming me? And the girl said, cause I can. Like, what? And so she followed Cardi all the way there. So then they start talking and then the girl approaches her. Okay. She got a security uniform on and everything. And they're like cursing each other out because she's saying, bitch, why don't you just go and do your job? Which she should have. The girl was acting all like, you could get out my building. This is my building. You know what I'm saying? Like she owned the damn building. And Cardi was like, you see I'm here for an appointment, right? You see where I'm going. You see I'm here for an appointment. Why don't you just go and do your job? So they're going back and forth. And so now the receptionist in the office, in the doctor's office, actually heard him and came out and she got in between them. So then Cardi ended up being behind her. Now, Cardi's pregnant and she probably weighed like $130 then, she said. And so the girl was a little more, they probably was the same height, but she definitely outweighed Cardi, is what I'm saying. So the girl kept doing this, pointing with her phone, doing this. And so she ended up scratching the receptionist. It was no big deal. The receptionist said it was like a little scratch. I put alcohol on it and kept it pushing. It wasn't like it was bleeding profusely or nothing. It was a little scratch. Now, the girl, in turn, was like, oh, she put her hands on me. Now she's making stuff up, saying Cardi fought or whatever, and all of this. So when Cardi's on the stand, Cardi's saying, I didn't even touch her. Said, I thought everything was over because then the doctor came out, right? The doctor came out and said, hey, excuse me, but this is a patient of mine and your security. Go do your job. Leave. He even pushed the button for the elevator so she could go back to her post. He said it took like 30 seconds for her to get in there. But he said, he talked to her calm at first, but then he had to match her energy. So he was like, hey, like go do your job. And she finally got her ass on the elevator and went down. So Cardi was, she's pregnant, so she's emotional and she's whatever, but she's just, that's the only thing she was worried because she's saying, now she is a star. Let's be clear. And so Cardi was just like, the reason why I feel, afraid is because this lady followed me. What if this was somebody that was trying to take her out or anything? She don't know the lady's intentions. It doesn't matter she had a uniform on. You know, people being different now. They're a lot different. They're different. So why Cardi's understand, I don't know. So anyway, so the girl was suing Cardi for $24 million because she said Cardi hit her and scratched her cheek. Now, when he showed the picture of the cheek, y'all, the cheek looked like this. Yeah, nothing was there. Nothing. Not one thing. No scratch, no nothing, no mark, nothing. Right? She took pictures of it and then talking about she had to pay $17,000 to a plastic surgeon to fix it. But Cardi never hit her because Cardi was thinking, shit, this girl's bigger than me. She gonna whoop my ass because it's just me and her. You know what I mean? She's like, wait a minute. And you know, when you're pregnant, it's a different emotions going on, everything. She's not going to be out there fighting. She's Cardi. You know what I mean? So the lady ended up, you know, filing the lawsuit. Now, remember, I said this was 2018. It's 25. So the court date finally comes up, right? And so her attorney, shit, he actually helping Cardi win. The stupid shit. He's saying some really ignorant stuff, y'all. Seriously. What he's saying is crazy. Because he's asking Cardi, so what did you say? So Cardi said what she said. She said, I said, bitch, why are you following me and why are you filming me? Don't you got work to do? Aren't you security? So go do your job. And he goes, say that to her. And it was like, overruled. Like, no, objection. So because Cardi was looking like, I told you what I said, basically looking like. And so they said, were you afraid when she approached you? Cardi said, yes. You don't have a disability. She said, I don't. But at that time I was pregnant. Every woman knows you definitely disabled. You want me to have a list of things I cannot do anymore? And then she got the jury laughing. Once the jury is laughing, you already know what the outcome is going to be. And it's just ridiculous that somebody could actually bring a lawsuit about nothing and have no proof of anything. They put Cardi on the stand and she was sharp. Everything they asked her, she answered. Whenever they said talk, you know, answer the question, she did. Whenever they told her not to, she didn't. She paid attention. But also, you know, they were like, he was like, well, how come, you know, you feel a certain way? Like, he said, because, you know, like I weighed like 130 pounds. Like, how do you know she's bigger than you? She goes, like, I can see it. Basically, she didn't say I could see it, but basically she's like, and I can see like the jurors like smiling, like, we all can see that. You know, the girl is fat. She a fat girl. But Cardi didn't say that, so he kept plugging her. And Cardi said she just looked like, you know, she's security big. You know what I'm saying? Like she could guard the whole building. I was like, she said she could guard the whole building. That took me out. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I must have laughed. I had to rewind it because I was still laughing. That shit was funny. Because she never once said she was fat. Ever. And then the girl, then the girl tried to say that Cardi said, you know, use the N-word. And Cardi said, no, like I never used it. You know what I mean? Like what? You know, basically looking like why would I? You know what I'm saying? And they say, well, then he asked, well, what do you resonate as? And she said, what do I resonate as? And so then they told her not to answer it. Then they said, answer it. So then she said Afro-Latina. So now the N-word thrown right out because he said, well, have you ever used it on her? I said, no, I never used it. That's it, right? It was crazy. So then he said, right now, are we actually having like an argument or whatever like that? She said, well, I wouldn't say it was an argument. I think it was like, we had a little debate going on. The fucking jury fell out again. Y'all gotta excuse me because this was like, it was like a comedy show. It was like a sitcom. It was funny as shit. I promise you. If you haven't checked it out, please look at it. So then it came time for the girl to be on the stand, right? Now, all this time this lady had, now you remember I said it was 2018 and here it is 25. She doesn't remember anything. It's in the report, she kept saying. Cardi answered the questions, like the real questions. She kept saying it was in the report. I can't recall that. And they showed her the thing and she said, show me where it is. You know what I mean? Like she was so unsure. Now, if somebody scratched your face and you're suing them, you would know detail for detail. So that already said to me, you're a lying piece of shit is what you're doing. And that's exactly what she was doing. And I seen her get on stand. I said, oh, I know what Cardi's saying, because she was puffed up. She definitely, if she ain't 200, she's damn near close, is what I'm saying. Oh my God. And so then they had the receptionist on. And she said, listen, when I stepped in between them, the girl kept with her phone. She had her phone in her hand, kept pointing this, that, and the other. Because Cardi was now behind her. And she was pointing, like, basically over the receptionist. So then they asked the receptionist, well, you got injured during this. She said it was just a little scratch. I guess it was like on her nose or something like that. And so she said, well, who did it? She said she wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say any, well, not she wasn't sure. She just said, excuse me? She said, well, he was like, well, where was Cardi? He said, Cardi was behind me. So she didn't do it. I didn't do it. So the only other person that was there was the security guard. So yeah, security guard scratched her. Yeah. Isn't that something? You see what I'm saying? It was just crazy, because then they brought the doctor out, and he was just like, it was crazy. Like, he couldn't believe the lady was acting like that. He had to tell her to leave. But it took a minute because she was not even listening to him. So the next day, he had Imani go downstairs. Imani is the security guard. He had I forget her name, his receptionist go down with like his office manager, go down to talk to the building's office and let them know the situation, what happened, the altercation. So anyway, the security guard, whose name is Imani, actually got fired. Now, she also mentioned that Cardi got her fired. Cardi didn't know none of this stuff was going on. She figured it was over after that. But then after, she was just leery while she was there. It was like, is this chick gonna follow me outside and stuff like that? Anywho, to say the least, it is hilarious. And you could just see that the girl just is not on her game, and she definitely was lying. So make sure you check that out. All the videos, they're all over everywhere, especially TikTok. It's hilarious, is what I'm saying. And it just shows how dope Cardi is. And another thing, right, that's kind of cool about this shit is that Cardi is actually holding back. You know what I'm saying? Like, not holding back, but changing her outfit and hair every day, because she felt basically it was her thing saying this lady gonna change her, what she said from the first time, to something different now. It's gonna be a new lie today. So basically, just watch it. I'm saying you're gonna love it. Anywho, that's what the streets is talking about. It's that time. I didn't spend a lot of time on the first piece, so I gotta leave you with something to think about. All right? So, no matter how long you've known someone, you never know what or how they truly feel about you until something happens. When something happens, boy, you hear it all. Before, they lollygagged with you and everything was cool. But that one thing that you did wrong, they will hold it over your head and go hard on you. And you're like, wait a minute, this is my people. This is my people. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. Don't pay attention to what people say. Watch what they do. Because actions speak louder than words. I'm just saying. I still need you to get up. Yeah, you. Get up, get out, and pay attention to the signs.